Today on UI7 Newsbreak, all the results from one of the biggest midterm elections in American history.
Then, a look into an annual event with a more somber tone in the Champaign-Urbana Jewish community.
Plus, basketball season is back and ready to get underway at State Farm Center.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
Hello, I am Isabella Perez.
And I'm Jessica Potempa. This is your UI7 Newsbreak.
The 2018 midterm elections are in the books, and here are the local, state, and nationwide results from last night. J.B. Pritzker will become the new governor of Illinois after the incumbent Bruce Rauner conceded just 1 hour after the polls closed. Pritzker won by close to 1 million votes and becomes the first Democratic governor in Illinois since Pat Quinn in 2015. The billionaire is also said to be the richest governor in American history. Rauner thanked his supporters during his time in office and the election. The House seat for Illinois' 13th district was decided much later than the governor's race. Despite numerous sources calling the race for Betsky-Durski-Londrigan, Republican incumbent Romney Davis is in the position to serve a fourth term with a narrow win late. Despite Londrigan's winning Champaign County by a landslide, Davis won by less than 4,000 votes in a race that wasn't called until after midnight. Davis said he is willing to work with the new majority despite being in the minority in the House. Partial recounts are expected in the coming days. A change in power did come from Kramer Raoul, winning the Illinois Attorney General race against Erica Harold. Raoul got more than half of his 2 million votes from Chicago and will take over for Lisa Madigan, becoming the first male in position in 15 years.
In terms of a few local results here in Champaign County, Darlene Kleppel will be the first county executive after defeating County Clerk Gordy Holton by a slim margin. Holton will be replaced by Aaron Ammons, who will be the new county clerk. And finally, Democrat Dustin Hireman was elected as the next county sheriff over Republican Alan E. Jones. The national races ended with Congress being split, with the Democrats gaining control of the House and the Republicans keeping the Senate for another 2 years. The Democrats were only able to flip 1 seat in the Senate, needing 2 to regain control. Republicans flipped seats in Indiana, Missouri, and North Dakota to own 51 Senate seats right now. 3 races are still undecided, including in Florida. Rick Scott leads incumbent Bill Nelson by less than 0.5%. With more than 90 million votes across the United States in House races, the Republicans lost 26 seats as the House of Representatives turned blue. With just a few races too close to the call, the Democrats have 219 seats to the Republicans' 193. President Trump tweeted he is happy with the results and is holding a press conference in a few moments.
The elections on Tuesday saw a massive 64% turnout in Champaign County, compared to 49% in the last midterm elections in 2014. The high-volume voter turnout was in Champaign and in Urbana. Hundreds of people entered the Burker Center in Urbana to place their midterm election ballots. The lobby filled as employees helped to distribute ballots to voters. Voters range in age from their teens to their 80s, with many needing assistance with the machines. The midterm ballots included Illinois State Governor, Illinois State Representative, and many other important state-level positions. The Illinois polls closed last night at 7 o'clock, ringing in the election results shortly after.
Lines for polling places on campus were piling up in the closing days of the election, many of which contained first-time voters. UI7's Jared Farmer takes us to the Illini Union, where one new voter shares his experience.
Students and residents of the Champaign-Urbana area filled the hallways of the Illini Union waiting to cast their votes on the 2018 midterm election. One first-time voter, Dorian Serrano, felt as though it was his obligation to place his ballot.
Looking back to the most recent presidential election we had, which was in 2016, I was not too happy with the results, and I feel like if more people voted, it wouldn't have been so uncertain.
Voting for the first time may be an overwhelming experience. However, the Champaign County Clerk's Office can't stress enough the importance of young people going out and voting.
It's important for all voters to get out and participate, but it's especially important for younger people because they really have more time to be affected by everything that's going on. And if they aren't satisfied with somebody else voting for them, then they really need to vote. So I think it's awesome to see all these young people here today.
Although he felt anxious waiting in line, Serrano felt happy to finally be able to cast his ballot for the first time.
I don't know, I felt impactful because it's kind of like getting your feet in the water. And so now this is like my first experience. I kind of know what I'm getting into. When I approach it the next time, it makes me feel like, oh, I do want to do more research, kind of see what everybody's about.
The election may have ended last night, but Serrano hopes that other voters went out and made their voices heard. From Urbana, I'm Jared Farmer, UI7 Newsbreak.
Moving to weather, we had clear skies in Champaign-Urbana on election day, but we will have a chance for some precipitation this weekend at slightly colder temperatures. We will get up to 46 tomorrow with a low of 32. There is a chance for snow Thursday night. We will have a high of only 39 on Friday with a higher chance for some snow showers. We will only get up to 33 Saturday. Both days should see low temperatures in the lower 20s as we approach the Thanksgiving break and the winter season. The Jewish community got together for dinner this Sunday at the Illini Hallel. This happened only 1 week after the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in American history. They all gathered together to share their thoughts about the tragedy in an evening of unity.
The Champaign-Urbana Jewish Federation has brought together their annual campaign dinner.
I do want to take a couple moments to address the terrible attack on our fellow Jews in Pittsburgh.
This year's event had a somber tone as the community mourned the 11 who were recently killed in the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. The rabbi, Evan Moffick, came all the way from Chicago to speak at this dinner.
It really shook me up on a variety of levels. Of course, as a rabbi, someone who works in a synagogue, it felt as if a sacred space had been violated.
This is a great opportunity for them to speak up and think about what happened at the synagogue in Pittsburgh only days from today.
The Jewish people lives, the Jewish community remains vibrant and strong.
The Champaign-Urbana Jewish Federation remains positive about the upcoming times for the community.
We will continue as a people and as a religion and do what we can to stop some of this violence.
The shooting at Tree of Life Synagogue has been the worst anti-Semitic incident in American history. However, this has not weakened the Jewish community.
Yes, there's fear, but there's also a sense that we're not defined by that hate. And it's part of our obligation to fight that hate in every form it takes.
In Champaign, I am Isabella Perez, UI7 Newsbreak.
Coming up next, hoop season is upon us. More on Illini basketball after this.
It's not my first time bartending, so...
It's a sausage party in here.
It's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing,
Yeah.
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to...
What?
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But I get it, you're busy, and busy people can't have prediabetes. I read that wrong. They can, okay? Just go to the site.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Basketball season is back again. Illinois women's basketball made their final preparations this week as they get ready to open their 2018-19 season. The Fighting Illini concluded their final week of practice before they tip off their season. Head coach Nancy Fay and her assistant coaches ran the players through many different drills this week to get them prepared. The team will be a lot more experienced this year as they had 11 underclassmen on the roster last season. Illinois women's basketball is underway right now against Alabama A&M in their season opener at State Farm Center. Illinois is down early in the first quarter against the Bulldogs.
Illini fans got to catch their first glimpse on Illini men's basketball last Friday. Joining us now is Tim Griffin to get you hyped for the new season.
Illini men's basketball kicked off their season Friday in an exhibition game. I went to State Farm Center to see what this new look team is all about.
Another Illini basketball season kicked off Friday with plenty of new faces repping the orange and blue. State Farm Center hosted Illinois Wesleyan in an exhibition game. The new look Illini are featuring 8 newcomers, including 6 freshmen. Familiar face of sophomore guard Trent Frazier talked about getting these new guys involved, including transfer Andres Felice, who helped lead the Illini to an 83-67 victory.
Other than that, my main focus tonight was just trying to get these young guys going. First real game in front of the crowd, so my main focus was being more vocal out there.
Although the Illini finished with the win, Frazier believes they still have some work to do before the regular season gets underway.
We're working right now. The young guys are still learning. They're still getting better.
The Illini men's basketball team will play 15 home games here at State Farm Center this year. With tournament chances in the horizon, you can expect the arena to be packed.
Even with an exhibition game, fans still bought tickets, grabbed some popcorn, and got to catch their first glimpse of this new team. Head coach Brad Underwood agrees with Frazier that these freshmen have room to improve.
We've got to get some of these freshmen thinking a little more about the defensive end and understanding it. I keep using the terminology with these guys that it's the toughness to be disciplined enough to execute.
After an all Big Ten freshman season for Frazier, he's looking to keep up his terrific play.
I'm very comfortable. I was out there playing I've been playing Big Ten for 4 years now. So.
The Illini start the regular season Thursday against Evansville. In Champaign, Tim Griffin, UI7 News.
Fighting Illini basketball was not the only event on campus this Dad's Weekend. UI7 Chanel Newsom takes us to the main library to learn more about one of the largest exhibits of rare books and manuscripts in the United States.
Families and people of the Urbana-Champaign community explored the newly acquired Isaac Newton alchemical manuscript and other selections from the rare book and manuscript history of science holdings.
Are you familiar with that? No, this one.
Tom Habing, who is also a librarian at Illinois, gave his daughter, Krista Habing, a tour inside the rare book and manuscript library. The father and daughter talks about their experience.
And it was a treat to see these scientific manuscripts in the rare book and manuscript library.
Students start their weekend off at the library and even bring their dads along for this weekend Field Fun festivities for this year's 2018 Dads Weekend.
The Rare Books and Manuscripts Library's exhibit on Sir Isaac Newton is amazing. I'm an engineer, so I think all of that stuff is really cool.
Over the past decades, numbers of collections have emerged due to the efforts of scholars and librarians. Librarian Caroline Sivlowicz gives us a look inside some of the collections.
Today we're having an open house in the Rare Book and Manuscript Library, and for the open house we have pulled a selection of books from our History of Science collections, including the centerpiece of the show, which is a manuscript fragment by Sir Isaac Newton.
I actually work in the library myself, but actually I very seldom get the opportunity to see some of our sort of rare treasures.
In Champaign, I'm Chanel Newsom, UI7 Newsbreak.
That is all we have for this edition of UI7 Newsbreak.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.